What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. Today, I'm doing race 6 for the 2025 Kansas Lottery 300. Let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. This weekend, the NASCAR Xfinity Series has the Kansas Speedway, a 1.5-mile racetrack that puts on generally some fantastic and really great racing. You can run the outside, you can run the middle, and you can run the bottom lane. And this track always puts on some fantastic, great racing for the Cup Series, the Xfinity Series, and the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series as well. The last time the NASCAR Xfinity Series ran at Kansas Speedway, we saw Eric Almirola pick up the win in the number 20 car for Joe Gibbs Racing. He is not back this time around, as of course he will not be competing this weekend in the Xfinity Series race at Kansas Speedway. So now, let's jump into picks. But before we go into jump into picks, let's take a look at the weather for this weekend. So the weather for this weekend currently at the moment is actually looking pretty promising. It's going to be 82 degrees a high with 59 degrees as low with only a 5% chance of rain with sunny skies. Going to be a little warm if headed out to the racetrack this weekend. Not going to be super, super hot. It's going to be warm, but not super, super hot, where the weather should be pretty good if you're headed out to the racetrack this weekend at Kansas Speedway. Just make sure you bring some sunscreen this time around. Before jumping to picks, also, let's go ahead and take a look at the playoff standings after the first race of the round of 12. So Connor Zilisch is up by 85 points currently at the moment. Then you have Justin Allgaier is up by 53. Sam Mayer is up by 35. Carson Quaffel's up by 16. Harrison Burton is up by 9. Brandon Jones up by 8. Sheldon Creed is up by 7. And Taylor Gray is up by 3. Meanwhile, you have Nick Sanchez and Jess Love, who are both 3 points below the cutoff line. Then you have Austin Hill, who's 16 points below. And then you have Sammy Smith, who's 24 points below. Nick Sanchez and Jess Love can make that up in one single stage. Austin Hill can do that in 2 stages, could be back in contention. And Sammy Smith's going to need a lot of help here, probably already in must-win situation, but who knows at this point. So now, let's finally go ahead and jump into picks. For those who are new to the channel, here's how picks usually work. I do 2 suck picks, 2 drivers I expect to struggle, I don't think will have the pace and speed, or aren't that great at this type of track. I do 2 underdog picks, 2 drivers with desperately good run who I think will have a really good run this weekend, or really good at this type of track. And I do my winner's pick, the driver thinks is going to win the race overall, and I do the drivers need to watch out for, and usually for the Xfinity Series and the Craftsman Truck Series, I got 4 drivers need to watch out for, along with the race winner. So now, let's jump into picks. Who are my suck picks for the 2025 Kansas Lottery 300? My first suck pick for this weekend at Kansas Speedway is a driver with the 8 car for Junior Motorsports, Sammy Smith. Well, Sammy Smith, I think, is a decent driver, a mile and a half. He does not have a ton of momentum currently at the moment. After a really strong start to the 2025 season, this 8 team has been floundering. They haven't had a lot of consistent pace and speed, and their teammates of Connor Zilisch, Justin Allgaier especially, have not been as strong. So I think it's going to be a little bit of struggle for Sammy Smith this weekend. I don't trust the 8 team right now. They don't have a lot of consistency at this moment. So right now, I think Sammy Smith will unfortunately end up struggling this weekend at Kansas Speedway. My second suck pick for this weekend at Kansas is a driver of the 11 car for Kaulig Racing, Brendan Queen. Now, I think Brendan Queen is going to be a factor to win the ARCA race and probably will likely win the ARCA race on Friday. But I don't trust Kaulig Racing right now because I think Brendan is a very talented driver who's heavily rumored to be going over to Kaulig in the Craftsman Truck Series next year. But I think Brendan, unfortunately, isn't going to have the pace and speed to contend. I just don't trust the speed of the 11 team right now. They're not super consistent. They don't bring it on a week-by-week basis. I think, unfortunately, ends up being a little bit of struggle for Brendan. I don't think he's going to be a major factor. I think he didn't run amazing at Bristol, which I thought he run a lot better than he did. I think it's going to be a struggle. I don't think Brendan will have a really, really good run this weekend at Kansas. And now we're going ahead and jump on the underdog picks for the 2025 Kansas Lottery 300. Who are my underdog picks? My first underdog pick for this weekend at Kansas Speedway is a driver to 17 car for Hendrick Motorsports, Rajah Caruth. Raj is making his first start with Hendrick Motorsports since 2023 at Phoenix in the Xfinity Series, and I think he's actually going to have a really strong run in this car. We've seen this car win with Kyle Larson, William Byron, and we've even seen Corey Day have some flashes of brilliance in this car so far this year. I think Raj is a really talented guy, plus he does have a Truck Series win on a mile and a half at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, which I think will come into play for him having a really strong run. I think Rajah contends for a top 10 on Saturday. I think he's going to bring some good pace and speed. I think Rajah will be a factor for a potential top 10 this weekend at Kansas. My second underdog pick for this weekend at Kansas Speedway is a driver of the 25 car for AM Racing, Harrison Burton. This 25 team has been having a great season. In fact, Harrison Burton can now say he is the best driver in AM Racing history with, I believe, 1 or 2 top 5s and I believe like 10 or 11 top 10s so far this year. He's done a lot better than Haley Deegan's done in this car, and I really think Harrison Burton is going to be a factor for another top 10. This car has been really strong in mile and a half throughout the year at points as well. So I think he's going to bring some really strong speed, and I think he'll be a factor. I think Harrison will be a contender for a potential victory. Not victory, but a really good run this weekend at Kansas Speedway. And now we're going to jump on to the winner's pick for the 2025 Kansas Lottery 300. Who am I picking to win? The driver who I'm picking to win this weekend at Kansas Speedway has been the strongest driver in the NASCAR Xfinity Series over the course of the last couple of months. This driver had his worst finish since Mexico City, where he finished in 5th place. I think he's coming of like 14 or 15 consecutive top 5 finishes and was really good in this race last year, finishing in 4th. This is a no-brainer. I am picking the driver of the 88 car for Junior Motorsports, Connor Zilisch, to pick up his 10th win of 2025 and become the first driver to win 10 races since I believe Kyle Busch did it when he won 13 in 2010. Connor Zilisch is going to get another win. This 88 team is just on a different level at the moment. They have a ton of pace and speed on a week-by-week basis, and I think Junior Motorsports is just clicking. Him and Martin Lindley are working very good. You're going to have to be really good at this type of track, really good throughout the year. I think Connor's going to get it done. I think he gets his 10th win of the year this weekend at Kansas Speedway. And now we're going ahead and jump on to the drivers you need to watch out for this weekend at Kansas. Who should he have your eyes out on? The first driver you need to watch out for this weekend at Kansas Speedway is the driver of 7 car for Junior Motorsports, Justin Allgaier. Justin Allgaier and the 7 team also have a ton of momentum currently at the moment. He's been the only guy majority of the year that has actually kept up with Connor Zilisch, and I love the speed of the 7 car right now. And Justin Allgaier has historically been pretty good at Kansas, not amazing at Kansas, but he's generally been a pretty good driver here. I think that he is going to be a factor for a really strong run this weekend. I think JRM is going to bring some really good pace across the board for all their drivers. I think Justin Allgaier will be a factor for a win this weekend at Kansas. The second driver we need to watch out for this weekend at Kansas is a driver of the 20 car for Joe Gibbs Racing, Brandon Jones. He's technically going to be in the same car that Eric Almirola won at last year, and Brandon Jones has been very, very good at Kansas historically. I've his like 5 or 6 or whatever wins he has in Xfinity. He's got like 2 or 3 wins at this track. This is a great track for Brandon Jones. I think this team is going to bring a ton of speed this weekend. I think Brandon Jones will have a really strong chance, and I think he will be a factor and strong contender for a potential win and victory this weekend at Kansas. The third driver we need to watch out for this weekend at Kansas is a driver of the 41 car for the Haas factory team, Sam Mayer. Sam Mayer has been very, very solid throughout the year so far. Came very close to picking up a second win of the year this past weekend or a couple weekends ago at Bristol Motor Speedway. And Sam Mayer is a pretty good driver on the mile and a half as well. He picked up a win, of course, back in 2023 at Homestead Miami Speedway. I think the Haas factory team came very close winning race last year when they were under the Super Haas Racing umbrella too. I think Sam Mayer is going to have a really strong chance. I think he will be a factor and contender for the win this weekend at Kansas. And the fourth final driver I think you should watch out for this weekend at Kansas is a driver of the 1 car for Junior Motorsports, Carson Kvapil. I think Carson Kvapil, this 1 team, are due for a victory. He's the only Junior Motorsports driver so far this year that has not gone to Victory Lane who's driven for the team this year, on the full-time side, I should say. But I think Carson will be a contender. He's had speed a mile and a half this year. He's had generally some solid and pretty dang good speed across the board at times, and I think he is due to get a win at this point. So I think he's going to be a factor and a contender for the win. I think he will have a solid chance and a strong opportunity for a really good run. He potentially could get his first career Xfinity Series win this weekend at Kansas Speedway. So, those are my race 6 for the 2025 Kansas Lottery 300. Just a reminder, my suck picks are Sammy Smith, Brendan Butterbean Queen. My underdog picks are Raj Groove, Harrison Burton. My winner's pick is Connor Zilisch. And the ones to watch out for, Justin Allgaier, Brandon Jones, Sam Mayer, and Carson Kvapil. Those are my race picks. So, that is going to be it for the race 6 video for the 2025 Kansas Lottery 300 at Kansas Speedway. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me to Facebook and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Let's go to more that and comment below your picks for this weekend at Kansas Speedway. Who are your picks for this weekend? Let me know your suck picks, your underdog picks, your winner's pick, and let me know the drivers you're watching now for this weekend at Kansas Speedway. Let me know them in the comments below. Tomorrow on the channel, we should have a NASCAR news video discussing news over the course of the last 3 or 4 days. Friday, probably have some sort of silly season-esque video dropping, maybe a silly season prediction, something like that for the Craftsman Truck Series, something like that. Who knows at this point? Might be doing my first 2027 silly season predictions maybe on Friday, actually. Then Saturday, I will have, of course, reactions to the NASCAR Xfinity race potentially. Might be headed to Kansas, but not confirming that at this point. I got some other good content as well. Should be a race video dropping on Sunday. We got a lot of content coming on people in coming weeks like Haley Deegan, SB GG, Carl Edwards, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, Bubba Wallace, Ross Chastain, Sheldon Creed, Sam Mayer, Frankie Muniz, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Ryan Preece, Cletus Vaughn, Dodge Ram, Sam Mayer, Carson Host, Sabar, you name it, all the good stuff Brad Saucy will talk about on the channel in the coming days and the coming weeks as well. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode. I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content, other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.